Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Observable Flutter. My name is Craig Labenz, and I'm your host. And today, we're just coding, man. Just going to build something. Don't really know what yet. I do have some ideas, but I'm also going to take suggestions from you all and just kind of hanging out. I didn't really wake up this morning with the most energy in the world, so we might have a subdued experience today, but I'm still excited. Before we dive in, do recall, everyone, this is the Flutter community, and we are here to, live up to our own expectations for ourselves. Okay. How's everyone doing this morning? Hello, everyone. Hello from Uzbekistan. Glad to have you. What time is it in Uzbekistan? Fix some bugs in the Flutter SDK. I did think about that this morning, but that would mostly require coordinating on what bug to fix. Something that would fit within the hour and a half, however long we're here. Bluetooth low energy, yeah. I put on my own like kind of spiritual headphones this morning, and it said battery 20%. So one thing I was thinking we could do, and I'm open to other suggestions, is like make a Wordle solver. And the way I've imagined this is that it would first scrape the list of previous Wordle words and put those into a tree. Confusingly, the TRIE tree variety of that sound. And then start playing the current, play a game of Wordle, but always make, the most mathematically likely guess based on the distribution of where letters are and, what kinds of words appear, because it will know all the previous words, but it interestingly also knows that the word is not one of those words. And I'd also have to find an actual word list and hope that it is close to the Wordle word list. That's just one idea. We don't have to do it. Always wondered how to create a desktop app whose boundary is some shape other than a rectangle. I don't know if I've ever seen a desktop app that is not a rectangle. Is that a thing? Do such apps exist? What would that look like? Love the time check here. Randall, who is in the audience and, the Flutter community's resident time zone expert, must be really excited about hearing that it's 9:33 p.m. in India and that it's even later than that in Vietnam, 11 o'clock p.m., 2300 in Vietnam. And in Tunisia, it's quitting time. So get out of here. Go home. Yeah, Googling for previous Wordle list gives plenty of hints to scrape. Yeah, so that part, super straightforward, I think. It's like, what is the master Wordle list that they're using to choose words from? Because this would need both that list to verify a guess. It'd have to put that list into a tree and then all the previous words into a tree and then like figure out what to guess. 5:05 in Nigeria, similar to Tunisia. Yeah, all of Africa is one time zone, right? Am I hallucinating? Is all of Africa one time zone? I mean, it's very big. That would actually be a little crazy. Like all of China is one time zone. That's pretty wild. I think Russia has like 12 time zones. So time zones don't make any sense. A couple other ideas in the chat. Oh, the world is amazing. The world is amazing. I agree. Windows XP days music players. I've seen people propose this before, and I don't really know anything about audio anything, so that probably wouldn't. I'm not the person for that, but there does seem to be a real interest in like Winamp. I think that's what it was called. I don't think I'm. Oh, let's fix the analyzer performance. Oh, well, the analyzer team's working on that. They got stuff up their sleeves. Hang tight. Some kind of multi-window desktop app. Well, that would require finishing multi-window, which Canonical is working on. God bless them. A world map with time zones. A geo map, some kind of geo app would be fun to build one day. I don't really know much about that either, and fear that I might waste the whole hour and however long accomplishing very little. A simple code editor. Well, I don't know if the world needs another code editor. It would be an interesting project, though. A diet app for devs. It's just maybe it just like sends you a push notification every 8 hours and says, "Don't eat pizza." That'd be a good start. Lay off the pizza and Mountain Dew. Actually, there are apps that are like drink water, which honestly is just an embarrassment that that's an app and they've like raised money and stuff. But that would also be good, for devs to download on their phones. A Flutter app that supports VS Code like plugins. I think this is maybe a continuation of the simple code editor idea. And I think the issue there is that simple and code editor basically don't go together. How about a game about slashing bugs? I haven't used Flame in a while. A game would be fun. I'm still kind of thinking I might do the Wordle thing. Only problem is then when I do Wordle in the morning, I'll be like, oh, I could do Wordle and then I could run the app and see, how often I outperform the app. Probably won't be very often. Wait, what is this? Tic-tac-toe using Gemini for, must be the moves, of course. Well, Randall, I know you're familiar with the movie War Games. I think that's what it was called. Solve Wordle with Gemini. Yeah, kind of. I want to solve it like old-fashioned style. There's doing stuff with AI is fun and whatnot, but there are some problems that you can just solve with a couple electrons on your computer, as opposed to outsourcing the task to a data center where many GPUs, died to bring us these plans. Many Bothan spies died to bring us these plans. A question: why so far an integrated SDK has not been built that deals directly with the system without channels? I fear that writing code becomes better. I think this is possible. Boy, are you in luck. Flutter is going to improve this exact bit of developer friction. Been working on this for a very long time. The project is very far along. It's called the thread merge. I actually have a decoding Flutter coming out on that very soon. And then the next build show episode, which has already been filmed, is also on this. So great question, and hang tight. Oh, Sudoku. Yeah. I remember when I was practicing old algorithms again, literally when I was getting ready to interview at Google, I wrote a Sudoku solver just to practice a like backtracking algorithm. And that was fun. And then, you need to like visualize, am I solving this correctly? So then I just wrote like an ASCII output thing for it so I could watch it do every step, and then you could watch it backtrack once it kind of found a dead end in the tree of possible solutions. That was fun. Yeah, synchronous platform calls coming by way of the integrated SDK, no method channels. It's going to be really nice. The average Flutter developer might not like you might not notice it a ton. Plugin authors are going to have a lot less boilerplate to deal with, and then the API surfaces of some plugins will drop what it turns out has been an unnecessary feature that it's had the whole time, and then that'll simplify code. All right, another taker on a Sudoku. Interesting. So for a Sudoku solver, we would need some kind of we'd need a way to input a Sudoku. Fairly involved data structure there. I mean, I guess it's just an array of arrays. I guess it's just, an array that has 9 elements, each of which is an array of 9 integers. So maybe not that bad, but we have to seed it with some stuff. Maybe that's interesting. The only thing about the Wordle solver is the input is just 5 letters once we're ready to run it. Would that be something like FFI? Yes, it would. This is the thread merge thing. It will allow FFI directly. So it's honestly a fairly, technically you could use a method channel and then FFI on the other side of the method channel, but that's like going around the block twice to get next door. So nobody did that. But the Flutter engine has been spinning up. Again, there's a decoding Flutter coming out on this. It's going to explain everything. But the Flutter engine has been spinning up 2 new threads, the UI thread and the raster thread. The UI thread is where all the Dart code runs, and the raster thread is where the engine is mostly running. The engine spins up that thread, so it's all a little confusing. But that's where all of our render tree objects are turned into a pixel buffer. That's where communication with the GPU is happening, and Flutter is talking to Metal and Vulkan and all that stuff. Excuse me, sorry. So what's going to happen in the future is the engine is going to stop spinning up that UI thread where Dart code runs, and the Dart code will instead just run on the original platform thread where Android or iOS, that app started. And that will mean that your Dart code and any native libraries that you need to call are in the same thread, which means you can just FFI and hit them directly. And it's going to be nice. It's going to be really good. A rocket landing mini game. I did play this in high school a lot, and it was fun. My trig is very bad, so we could all laugh at, technically I have a math minor, but I've forgotten everything. So another Sudoku. All right, well, this is kind of getting like a runaway. It is the most voted for, I think. 9-letter Wordle. How is it different from current FFI? Currently, to use FFI for anything, you have to bake that binary into your Flutter bundle, into the app bundle that is your app. And then that C-like library or binary or whatever that you want to hit is in the same process, and so you can FFI to it. Once Dart code execution moves off of its own thread and back onto the main platform thread, then all native stuff will be available for FFI as well. So that's big. That's the difference. And then you can still bundle more things in yourself. If you're adding SQLite, you can bake the SQLite binary into your app, and you can FFI into that, and you can FFI into native libraries. All right, maybe we just do 2D pinball. Now, that has been done to such a high level in Flutter that I am not the person. I mean, Google Flutter pinball. I don't want to dishonor that effort by VGV. A mix between Sudoku and Wordle? Well, I hadn't thought about inventing a new game, but I'm open to a pitch. Well, hello, Hog Dominance. What a name. Oh, it's a Clash of Clans thing. It's a little hog rider, dude. Following you since I come to mobile app and I love Flutter. Well, hey, Flutter loves you too. We're glad to have you. Go GTA 6. Yeah, we'll do Half-Life 3 or 2 or whatever the next Half-Life is. It's going to be great. Choose your own adventure driven by Gemini. Yeah. Okay. So we're cooking on a little demo for this. I'm hoping I'm going to try to pitch to have at Cloud Next, and maybe we'll use this demo somewhere, but we've been working on something kind of like this internally. It's been pretty fun. 3D chess mixed with checkers and Othello. Y'all are interested in inventing new games, which is ambitious. Candy Crush like game. I've never played Candy Crush. I don't know how you crush the candy. Is it like a hammer? You've built one in Canvas already. Even has an image for the current situation. Well, that sounds pretty cool. Randall, have you tweeted about this? You probably have. I'm not on Twitter anymore. All right, so I think we're down to either Wordle or Sudoku, making a Sudoku solver. Two mentions of Ludo, though. I don't know what Ludo is. I'm going to Google it on my side monitor. Ludo game? Oh. Well, this looks complicated. Let me move this over here. Let me bring this Ludo Wikipedia page on. We could spend the whole day just coding the board and the movement rules. First of all, I'd have to learn the movement rules. Strategy-based board game for 2 to 4 players, in which the players race their 4 tokens from start to finish according to the rolls of a single die. Like other cross and circle games, Ludo originated from the Indian game. Oh, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of that. Pashisi? The game and its variations are popular in many countries. So is this kind of like a 4-way snakes and ladders thing where there's random shortcuts that you might get lucky enough to hit or not? I don't know. All right, I'm time boxing, picking something to the next several minutes. Randall says Wordle more likely to finish in an hour and a half. And that is a good point, especially since I've already wasted 20 minutes. So, Uno? Uno is fun. You'd have to get all the cards. Wonder if you could have a text-based Uno. Oh, the multiplayer aspect also very complicated. I've made it before without flame, but wanted to make it flame be cannot. Yes. What was it again? What did you make? Scrolling back up to the last Hog Dominance message, which I seem to be missing. I'm not seeing it. All right, Hog Dominance made something. Oh, their last thing was just talking about how they made a mobile app development. They love Flutter. Okay. I don't know what they're referencing. All right. All right. I'm gonna do Wordle because I want to get something done in 90 minutes. I don't think I'd get Sudoku done in 90 minutes, though the backtracking part of it is would be fun. It'll be a future episode. All right. Let me get my windows organized and we'll begin. I will be using Gemini for implementing the boring parts. But I'm going to also it'll be like coding first, Gemini assisted. That's the plan. So getting into a window here, you'll all see me in just a second. Oh, Minesweeper? That would be actually a pretty good idea. Oh, Minesweeper is a super interesting idea. Oh, do I want to do Minesweeper? Oh, do we want to do Minesweeper? Oh, that's a pretty good idea. It's tractable. Its behavior is well known. I think I want to do Minesweeper. All right, let's pivot. Minesweeper. Good luck to us. Going into my Observable Flutter directory. Where is that? Oh, yeah. I swear I'm going to share my screen in a second. Flutter, create, empty, Minesweeper. What? Oh, yeah. Oh, I just typed a bunch of crazy nonsense. Code Minesweeper. Here we go. Don't mind me, folks. I'm just going to make Minesweeper. Streaming has gone bad. Oh, I'm sorry. That is probably, well, it could be on my end, or it could be StreamYard. Oh, and it's better again. Wonderful. Okay. I've never thought about making Minesweeper before. I haven't played it since I was a kid. First, I'm going to delete some of these folders I'm not going to use. We'll just do a web build. I should have done / platforms. I always forget that because I have a smooth brain. Windows, get out of here. All right, let's initial commit this. Actually, I'll do a pub get first. So we have a pubspec.lock. Oh, we already had it, but it'll be a little more advanced. And now, git add everything. That's fine. Git commit initial commit. And remember, folks, this will be this bad code that you won't want to follow and you won't want to take as inspiration. Well, I've made Pong so many times. This bad code will be available on the GitHub repository, which the banner of which is not there, github.com. Which can be found here. And then you can learn how not to write code. So low key, I've been working on a video game myself in my spare time that I'm hoping to release and do for real. And it's basically like a hexagon based 2048/3s. It's like 2048 copied off 3s. And I'm copying off both of them. And yeah, so I've been working on that game for a long time. Almost ready for test users. All right. So if I'm remembering right, the way Minesweeper works is you have a grid and you don't know where the mines are, but when you click a grid, it reveals if you touch a square where a mine is hiding, then obviously you lose. If you touch a square adjacent to where a mine is hiding, it shows you a number, and that number is how many mines that square touches. And if you touch a square not connected to any mines, then you get that whole field. That'll be the challenge. Is calculating like the space of squares not connected to any mines. What we might actually need like oh yeah, that'll be interesting. I feel like it'll be almost like a pathfinding algorithm, because like A star uses the priority queue and like kind of expands out. We'll kind of need that as well, but there's just like no target at the end. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know how that's going to work. So main.dart. I'm going to first put a stack in here. This is going to be an extremely simple. Actually, it's a Minesweeper. Well, we'll call it the game board. I'm sure it'll eventually be a stateful widget. Why are you not giving me the tooltip? Can't believe I'm typing this out. Can you guys believe I'm typing this out? What a nightmare. When was the last time you all typed out a stateful widget? What a nightmare. All that to put a stack somewhere else. And now let's start with, so this will take like a size. So required int rows and required int columns. And then this will begin. Oh, we need a layout builder. Yeah. Definitely got to have a layout builder. Honestly, I think it's the coolest widget in all of Flutter is the layout builder. It is the most likely. I think it's like it's the least appreciated. It's the most underrated widget. Yeah. Nobody's singing the layout builder's praises like I would like. Well, I just got a beach ball on my computer, so that could be where the bad internet is coming from. When did I last restart my computer? Oh yeah, I have to go to the terminal, don't I? 32 days. Well, that's not crazy, but probably contributing to the bad stream quality. Initializing 2 times rows and calls. What do you mean? Say that again in more words. Oh yeah, this needs override. What a goof to forget that. So, oh, you know what I'm going to also do? Well, we need to kind of figure out what is the narrowest part here. Oh yeah, I've written this like so many times. So we have an amount of space, left and right space, top and bottom space, and I don't know that they are in fact a square, but I could simplify my life by making it a square. So I'm going to give this a, no, we want to be able to resize the game. All right. So let's say we need to figure out the dimension of each game square, and that is the amount of space that we have on the narrower side. No, that's wrong. We would need to know the height, the maximum height, and the maximum width, and then we just take the minimum of those. So the maximum width would be the amount of columns that we have divided by our width. So final max square width equals the constraints dot max width divided by widget dot columns. And then we have our max square height is the constraints dot max height divided by the widget dot rows. And then our square size, and this is just a double, is the min of those two values, max square width and max square height. And we have to import min. Okay. Now that we know the square size, we know the size of the game board. And then I think we can pass. Oh, a thing that I've been doing recently in this looks like I did in my hexagon-based game that I was talking about is like have a dedicated builder. So those will be like the game board builder .dart class that handles positioning everything, and it just keeps the widget tree a lot cleaner. So class game board builder, and this is going to take a couple values to start, like the max constraints. So required this dot constraints, and then also required this dot square size. Final box constraint. Actually, this could just be a size. Constraints. Where do you come from? Sure. And then required, or sorry, final double square size. Analysis options, formatter, trailing commas, preserve. Okay. So now we'll make a game board builder. And this we have to import. After I do this, I will check jet. So the square size will be square size, and the constraints will be a new thing, which is square size times columns for the width, and square size times a widget.columns. Widget.rows for the height. All right. Well, you'll definitely use Layout Builder in your next project. Well, I mean, you only use it when you need it. I just postulate that it is the way to dynamically lay things out. So you do often need it, but it's not like, there's a quota. You have to use a certain amount of Layout Builders. Am I using it for responsive design? Yes. Yes, I am. I argue that Layout Builder is preferred. Oh, we've been debating to asking media query.size of. The other nice thing about Layout Builder is it decouples a widget from assuming it is the whole window. I'm just making this game board now, but eventually I'm going to want to shrink it within the available space. I mean, I'm not really, because this project may not outlive today, but if it was a real project, you're going to shrink it within the available window so you can add like a score and buttons and other flair on the side. And so the Layout Builder will accommodate that. And as you move around and reposition something, the Layout Builder works. If you had just assumed it was the whole thing. So yeah, totally agree with Randall. Very preferred over asking media query.size of. Okay. Let's resume. So now, we need to draw the lines between. So a couple things we could do. Could get assets, because I remember in Minesweeper, I think like each button had almost like a little bezel. You could kind of have it had a little 3D effect, so you could really tell it was a button to click. I don't know if I want to do that, because I'm not really going to worry about like a depressed state or anything. But if we don't do that, then I need to draw kind of like just 1 pixel lines to indicate this grid. So I think that'll be our first step. So I have this builder, and now I'm going to return a new widget, which will be the game board like inner. This is kind of a somewhat common pattern. And I'll pass that a builder. And then I'll also surround this in a sized box, which is going to actually enforce this size. And then I'm going to center the sized box. And I'm apparently going to write it in the most awkward way possible so that it never looks intelligible. So the height here of the sized box is the, does the size box have like a size constructor? That'd be nice. From size. That would be the builder.constraints. Well, it's like, it's a named parameter still. Okay. Now, so the funny thing is the next one is going to be the stateful widget. This one did not need to be. What is it? What are you whining about? My dear friend. Wait, why did it say they aren't final? Oh, is this what the person was talking about? This needs to be this dot. Funny. Not likely to pass that key, so it's not terribly important. All right, so I'm going to bring this back to being a stateless widget. And the next one will be a stateful widget. But I'm going to still write it as a stateless widget and hope I can convert it, because that'll be faster than the nonsense I did a minute ago. Oh, there. Oh, this is going to be so sad. Okay, so this is going to take a builder. This dot builder. Final game, just builder. That's a game board builder. And now we can finally make the stack. Stacks on stacks on stacks. What are you upset about, dear sir? Is it that you need a const constructor? It's funny. It's like, make this a const constructor so you can accept this parameter that is definitely never const. I guess in a test it could be const. Sure won't be in real life, in a real run state. Can we keep the state of the dialogue after the close dialogue? That doesn't seem to be related to Minesweeper, and I'm not sure what you're talking about. But feel free to ask again with more words. I'm thinking 2 to 3 times as many words. Smelling a bug when we adjust the screen size since neighbors matter. Well, adjusting the screen size and accommodating that correctly is exactly the point of all of this. So that'll be the first thing we test. And we'll see if you are right. Sai, great to see you. We are building a Minesweeper game. Nice. Full points. That's great. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to change that. Whoops. Okay, so it's the stack time. So now, first of all, I think we want like an outer border. So let's return, children widget. So let's do the border widgets. And I know I literally made a video about not doing this, but in this case, I'm just drawing static little doodads. So I think this helper function is fine. Okay, so let's make the, so this will be the left border, and that is going to be a container, which has a height of constraints. Oh no, widget.builder. Oh, wait a minute. The whole point was to use the builder and have it place things. So I'm going to give it methods. Oh yeah, in my game I had this concept of a positioned widget, which I feel is kind of missing from Flutter. I'm going to add this and I'll see if you all agree. So, or maybe it does exist in some capacity and I'm just not aware of it. Positioned, no, position is I think what I want. Because I want to be able to programmatically place things and then turn that into a positioned widget. Yeah, that's what it was. So all the parameters that go to a positioned widget, this dot height, this dot width, this dot left, this dot right, this dot top, this dot bottom. We just go with that for now. And then make all of these doubles that are nullable. Why don't I have 6 cursors? Final, double, there we go. And then we have a toWidget function, which takes a widget, which is the child, and returns positioned, which takes the child and passes all of these things in. And again, we don't have 6 cursors, which is upsetting to me. All right. Cool. So we have a position. Now we can import the position. This whole time we're just going to draw the board. So what we do here is this is going to return a position, and this will be the left border position. And so the left value of this is 0. The height is the whole height. So that's constraints.height. The width, let's give like 2 pixels. I don't know. And then, we could even actually kind of like outgrow our bounds a little bit here. It could be 1 pixel outside of the game board and 1 pixel inside. It's actually probably a bad idea, but that's what I'm doing for now. Okay, so I think, is this right? We're all the way to the left. We have the full height and full width. I think that's correct. And so now to place this thing, what we'll do is we'll say builder.get, what did I call it? Left border position. So that's probably widget.builder, left border position. And now we just pass it a child. Was that named? Oh no. And then we say toWidget on that. And this is where we pass the container that we want to draw. And the container now doesn't need to worry about its size because it'll fill its parent and we just give it a color. So the color will be colors.gray or something. So I'm going to quickly make all the borders top border. If I could type bottom and right, and we'll fill those in. And then see if we are drawing a game board. I can't do anything. I can't type. I have no functioning neurons, it would seem. All right, so that was the left border position. So the top border position has a top value of -1, a width of constraints.width, and this is an insane way to edit this, wasn't it? Height of 2. So the left border position we can reuse for right, and this will basically just be right. And then we'll reuse top for bottom. Where is the cursor going? What am I doing? We'll reuse the right border position. Oh, no, sorry. Reuse the top border position for the bottom. And then this just becomes bottom. Oh, and I have to rename it. And now I'll come here and do this same thing. So we'll get a top border. And then we get a bottom border. And we get a right border. Who's taking bets? Is this going to work? Is this going to run? To make sure we actually see this, because otherwise it will take up the whole game board, I'm just going to put a little padding around. Oh, yeah. Okay. So let's do like rows 10. No, let's do 50 and height. Columns 50. Very good. And around this game board, do I want to put it around the center? I think I do. I want to put it around the center. Yes. We put a padding and I don't know, 30 pixels. Something random. So we make sure we see everything. Okay. I'm going to run this. Prepare myself for a dumpster fire. What button did I just click? Oh, Git. I think I just pushed this code to the branch. That's funny. It was supposed to be its own branch. This is what I wanted to click. Flutter, run, D, Chrome. Okay, we got more words. When I use show dialog, the dialog state is disposed once it closes. How can I persist the dialog state so that when I reopen it? Yeah, so that's basically, it sounds like you've got your application state only living in the widget tree. I would use a provider from RiverPod, use a block, use a command, use something that stores the state. And then whenever your, oh, I'm sorry, everybody. Do we have a game board? Whenever your dialog opens, it just pulls state from some other thing that knows what should be rendered. And there you go. Okay, now this should respond. This should be responsive. Look at that. It's centered within. I can't click on anything apparently. Yeah, so it's centered left, right, and centered top, bottom. And that is what I wanted. And actually, the Chrome window won't go skinnier than this, but I feel pretty good about this. Yeah. Nice. Is this code use developed build game? The code is, we are making a game. Yes, it's Minesweeper. All right. Let's carry on. So now we need to start drawing some lines. And this game board builder is also going to need to know about the rows and columns count as well. So I don't want to rededuce it from this. Technically, it could be done, but it would be crazy. Required this dot rows and columns. And those are integers. Okay. Now we will pass those values in. So let's draw. I think instead of drawing like lots of little lines for each square, we just want to draw axes. So we're going to have, I'm going to have a new thing here. This is going to be a position function, and it will be draw vertical bar, boundary, line, I guess. And it will need to take an index, which is the column index. Int column index. Okay, here we go. And this will return a position. And because it's a vertical line, its width is 1. Its height is constraints.height. And now we need to position it from the left. So if the column index is 0, then we'll say we're drawing the right line. So I'm going to leave that as a comment here. Draws the right boundary for the given column index. This means that when column index is 0, this function draws the leftmost boundary, but not like the game board boundary, like within the game board. The leftmost line, I guess we'll call it. And when column index equals columns, it draws a line which is covered by the rightmost board, game board border. You don't get to use those two words next to each other that much. So the width of each thing is just square width. So this is going to be column index plus 1, we said, because I don't want to multiply it by 0 for the 0th index, times square width, which is from square size. Of course, squares have the same width and height. All right, so now I'm going to draw those in a loop. And I want the game borders to be on top of them, so I'm going to do it first. So that was the border widgets. So before that, I'm going to draw the square. No, we'll just call it vertical lines. List, widget, vertical lines. And, oh, sure. What if I do like a little generator? That would make this an iterable. And then I'm probably, I don't know, we'll see. Okay, so int index equal, no, we can just do the old for final I equals 0, I plus plus, I is less than, am I not writing a for loop correctly? Then vertical, so that's columns. All right, what am I doing? How do you write a for loop? Isn't this how you write a for loop? Am I crazy? Why did I put that there? Oh, did I not need to? Oh, no, I have to, because otherwise 1 would have been smothered into multiplication against square size, and the math would have been totally different. Am I wrong? Someone else is saying, oh, the order is wrong for the loop? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, good stuff. And this is widget.builder. Okay. I told you, folks. The brain is half on right now. So I'm going to yield, because I said this was a generator, widget.builder. What was the function called? Draw vertical line. That's a weird function name. Doesn't really work. It's vertical line position. Vertical line position. There we go. Much better. This isn't drawing anything. And we're passing it to the index. And then we say to widget. And we'll give this a little container. which will have a color, and we'll do a lighter color. Color is not gray. 700. Is that lighter or darker? 200. That's lighter. Okay. I swear I know how to do Flutter code. I don't really. I'll make these ones a little darker. That actually seemed kind of light. So this one will be 700. Yeah, now we're talking. Yeah. Oh, has this been hot reloading the whole time? No. Don't know why. Oh, baby. Look at the board. Look at the board. Dude. The things that I blank on never cease to amaze me. All right. So now we'll have a horizontal line. And draws the bottom boundary for the given row index. This means that when row index is 0, this function draws the topmost line. Is that supposed to have a hyphen? I feel like not. Topmost? I don't know. And when row index equals rows, it draws a line which is covered by the bottommost. See here, I didn't put a hyphen. I can't make up my mind. Bottommost? Whoa, that looks super silly. Row index. So the positioning value for here is top, and that is the row index plus 1 times the square size. And then this becomes the height, this becomes the width, and this becomes the width. So now we draw the horizontal lines, I reckon. And that'll be a function 2. You know what? Yeah, I'll make it its own function for no good reason at all. Horizontal lines. Long story short, is a phrase whose origins are complicated and rambling. Rows. All right. Now, if I've wasted all of our time for any good reason, what we have is a board that both doesn't have to be square itself. It doesn't have to have the same amount of numbers of rows and columns, but it responsively resizes itself and uses most possible efficient, makes the most possible efficient use of the space. But the real test is to have not the same amount of rows and columns. So let's make it skinnier by having 30 columns. And nice. We are ready to play Minesweeper. Not really. We are ready to have our first thoughts about what Minesweeper is. Decrease rows and columns. True. Then we can see things a little easier while testing. Are we racing? Nice. You already have models and it's testing your game board, so I'm going to lose the race. Nice. There's a great Office episode about this. That show is quite ahead of its time. Dwight and Michael Scott hit the road for an old-fashioned paper sales, jamboree, and they're competing against the website, which is just passively selling reams of paper. Great website, or great episode. I wasn't that partial to the website. I believe that also is the episode with maybe my favorite line from all of The Office, which is, Michael, it can't mean that. There's a lake there. And then Michael drives into the lake. All right. Enough reminiscing about the office. So the next thing I want to do is detect which square has been. Oh, yeah, we said we're going to lower these numbers, which is an excellent idea. This will become 20, and this will be 15. Random numbers that I have pulled out of my hind parts. So I want to be able to click on a square and see where that square is. That was terrible. But where does this go? Where does the gesture detector for this have to go? I want to be able to print the coordinates of the clicked on square, and then we'll be moving. I guess it goes in the game board inner, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Because it has access to the builder. This makes sense, I think. So we're going to wrap you, my dear friend, in a gesture detector, and we'll have on tap, and we will immediately defer. Wait a minute. Why are we not getting the coordinates? Huh? I guess we need to do on tap up. Does tap up have coordinates? It does. Okay. On tap up. Details. So let's call a function that doesn't yet exist. Yeah, so we'll do this. So this is going to be widget.builder. And then I want to pass it the X, Y, and I think we got to do the local coordinates because that is what will map to our builder's constraints. So we'll say get coordinates, or sorry, get row column for coordinates. And those coordinates are going to be details dot local position. So it's an offset. Boo. Okay. Now back in the builder, we will not remember that function name and copy and paste it in. And this is going to return rows and columns, which I'm going to make into a class so I don't ever forget like which one's row and which one's column. Okay. That was, did I paste that function name? No, because I'm not smart. I was debating its return type, which is now a chords object. That's much better. And here we're going to take an offset, which is the click. No, it's just the position. This isn't tied to the fact that it was a click. Doesn't care about that. So, whoops, that's not how you type. So I think we can just do this in one little inline here. So what is our row? No, do column first. So we have let's say it was 100 pixels. Yeah, I think we want to it might be a little, maybe there's an easier way to do this, but I don't think I want to do it in one line. So let's say, so yeah, if it was, if we had 100 pixels and there were 20 columns and you click on like the 8th pixel, that's going to be out of the first row because obviously they each have 5 pixels in this. So you click on the 8th pixel, that's going to be out of the first column and into the second column. And once it's in the second column, we have to deduce that from 8. So it would be, I think, 8 divided by, no, we need we just take the square width. Oh, it's how many square widths go into the position and then like ceilinged instead of floored, right? I think that's right. So I guess we can do this in one thing. So our column is going to be how many square widths go into the position dot dx. So that's divided by columns. And then we need to ceiling this. Is that a function? Ceil. Nice. Row would then be dy. Rows ceil. Boom. Okay, now we test. Yeah, here, refresh. Will you please stop doing that? Okay, where did it go? All right, so I'm going to click 0, 0. Oh, I didn't even print the thing. That's important for the test. I don't know what's going on. Oh yeah, okay, so this was the chords, final chords, and we will just print them, and then they're going to need a toString. I'm going to click 0, 0. Nothing. Nice. Why did literally nothing happen? That was unexpected. Huh? Well, before you get too excited here, notice how nothing is printing. Also, that isn't close to true. On tap up. Is like on tap up somehow not? I mean, I'm tapping up. I'm doing a full click. Why did it do it that time? Also, 6, 6 was not correct. There was no way I was like on this square. So the math is wrong. But it did it once. Why? Does that make sense to anybody? Okay, so I'm going to lose the race. Nice. Shouldn't it print to the debug console? Well, it would, I guess it would print there too, I think. That's a good point. But like also here. Yeah, we just have the same one print statement. Why? Why did it? Then it did it again. And also the math is super wrong. That was not in the 9th column. That was like in the 4th. It's almost like it's only right when it's on the line. Why is it only when it's right on a line? Oh, because does the stack itself not like count? The stack must not be getting hit. The stack must not be hit testable on its own. Okay. I wonder if I can do literally the dumbest thing ever and wrap this stack in a container, which probably is hit testable. No. Also, my math is just like whatever algorithm I dreamed up here is super incorrect. But if I click right on a line, it works. That container didn't help me. Wait, did this hot restart? I think it did. Yeah, it did. Give the container a color. It's going to be hard on the eyes, folks. Oh, because once the container has a color, then its build method introduces a colored box, and that is hit testable. An empty container doesn't do anything except delegate to its child. So, right, that did nothing. What is the simplest way to make an empty space hit testable? I mean, I could do a colored box and give it colors.transparent, but this feels so silly. Adding a colored box to make the whole stack hit testable. Gross. Oop, and now there was an error. This seems like a runtime thing that I don't care about. Yeah. Like a hot reload thing. All right. So now everything's clickable, and we got 1, 2 is definitely supposed to be 0, 0. Okay, my math is not right. So let me print these coordinates. Position dot oh, that's already local. Okay, so I'm going to print the position, and then let's also print the rows square size. I think this will hopefully quite readily make it apparent what the math should be. Wow, I really need to restart my computer. So how did either of those numbers divided by 33.55? Oh gosh, I'm covering it with this message. How long has that been up? Oh, behavior hit tester opaque. Is that a parameter on the stack? Good point. I didn't even think. Oh. Does that go on the gesture detector? Behavior? Do you have a behavior parameter? Oh, love it. I don't care. I love it. Delete widget. Remove widget. Remove a dish widget. Behavior. Hit test behavior dot opaque. Nice. That does seem extraordinarily promising. Wunderbar. Thank you. 10 points to house. What's your house? Are you Gryffindor? Are you? I'm personally a Hufflepuff. At least I aspire to be. "30 days ago, you got into Flutter and your front end is almost complete. Got any tips?" Incredible progress. I guess my tip would be carry on to the back end. Give yourself 30 more days and you'll have an app. No, that's awesome though. Great progress. And welcome to Flutter. So how on earth is 14? So wait, that's the width and the height. Why is 20 divided by 14? Did I just like do this wrong? I don't know. This doesn't make any sense at all. Position.dx. That's the width, which is columns, divided by the number of columns, and then we ceiling that answer. Seems like it should be correct. So we're printing the column math here. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't use the square size anywhere. Yeah, I'm definitely doing something wrong. When that much is clear. Yeah. Yeah, it's not columns. It's square size. I literally said that that's what I needed to do. How many times does square size? I think I don't know, whatever. Now it's going to work. Let's go. Randall, I'm catching up, man. I can click on a square and it gives me that coordinate. Step 4 of 6 is working. You have a timer and a score. Okay, so I'm not really catching up. But I am making progress. And I learned about hit test behavior opaque as a parameter I can pass to a stack. Print the coordinates. No, not anymore. Now it's time to have a little game engine. New file, Minesweeper engine .dart class Minesweeper engine. You know what? Do I want to extends? Yeah, I'll do this. We'll keep it simple. All right, Mr. Minesweeper engine, you need to seed us with some mines. And then I'm just going to draw those mines. And that'll help us visualize the next layer of the maths, which my backstage British producer, if he's still listening, which I hope he's not, because it's getting late for him, may have made him smile. So this needs to know the number of rows and number of columns. Rows in this dot columns. And then let's also have like a difficulty setting. I remember that being a thing. Enum difficulty. Easy, medium, and difficult. So now we can seed mines. And we'll need a map that shows us where all of the mines are. And what is the data structure that we want to use to store the mines? On the one hand, it could just be a list of coordinates. That kind of seems good. Later on, we will, of course, need to know whether or not we'll need like a whole 2D grid to store stuff. But I think we can get away with like a set of coordinates. And then I'll just need to do some value equality here. So I will add pubspec, add a dependency equatable. There it is. And this will extend equatable. No, that's not how that works. Extends equatable. And then we have to give it to import. And we have to give it some privacy props. And that will be the rows in the column, or row and column. All right, so now we can have a final, it'll be a, we'll just call this mine locations, which is a set, and you need import chords. So num mines equals switch on difficulty. So if it's an easy game, then, we kind of also need to know, well, number of squares equals the rows times the columns. So let's say if it's an easy game, then 10% of squares are mines. And this is an int. So this will maybe floor this. And then if it's medium, 20%. And if it's difficult or hard, 30%. I have no idea if those are good numbers. But now we can add mines until we get to that number. So final added mines equals, no, that's int added mines equals 0, while added mines is less than number of mines. We can generate a random coordinate, final random coordinate. And let's generate one random thing here. Actually, we don't really need it until down here. I'll import math. So the row here can be random.nextInt, and that's the number of rows. And the same for columns. And now we say if random coordinate, so that would be if the mine locations already contains that. This is not a good method. Contains, this is a really bad method. We continue. Insanely bad. I guess I could make all the possible coordinates, shuffle them, and then take the first number. That's way better. Yeah, let's do that. I get more screen real estate as well. So let's make a generator for all coordinates. And I'm definitely going to use that again as well. This is good. So this is all coordinates. And this could even just be a thing. We'll make it synchronous. Make it a generator by typing sync. So now we'll say for int row equals 0, row is less than rows, and row plus plus. And then we do the same for columns. Oh, I almost highlighted enough. Yield chord row column. Cool. So now I can say all chords.list. Okay, we'll get rid of this abomination I was about to write. All chords.toList. So we'll consume the whole generator. And then just store it locally somewhere. Chords to hold mines or something. And now we can shuffle this. And then we'll say while added mines is less than number of mines. Oh, this is so much better. Mine locations. Oh, no, we could do. We don't even have to loop over that. We can just slice this list. Added mine locations dot add all. And this will be chords to hold mines dot slice. What's the method called in Dart? Take. There's got to be a slice. Does anyone know how to slice a list? Join, index, fold. First where every element at cast contains. Oh, sublist. Haha. Duh. I knew that. Okay, so the start is 0 and the end is number of mines. All right. Don't need you and don't need you. I was almost going to write a shockingly bad method. At least I knew it was really bad. All right, so now we can draw the mines. Shouldn't really matter where this goes. Hopefully they don't overlap. Draw mines. Oh yeah, we need an engine, don't we, my dear friends? So where's our stateful widget? U. Final. That'll be late. Final engine. Import. Init state. I must have turned off. Oh yeah, I was just doing screen recordings for the build show. That's why I don't have any tooltips. I turned them back on though. Okay. Are we not importing you? Oh, difficulty. Sure. Difficulty.medium. I need to update to 3.10 so I can get .shorthands. Slice, use take and skip. I ended up going sublist. But yeah, I think that those ones would have been like a generator. Which also, because I'm using generators, probably would have been more on brand. All right, so I have an engine. I'm pretty sure the engine initializes itself. Yeah, calls seed mines automatically. That's good. So now we can draw the mines, and that'll be a list. Nope, an iterable of widget. Draw mines. And here we'll say for final coordinate in engine.mine locations. And I'm going to need in the builder to get a coordinate, get like the box contents, I guess, size. So this will be position, get coordinates contents. Coordinates. Okay. So the size of whatever we place is going to be the square size, and let's call it just like times 8. And the height is square size times 0.8, not 8, 0.8. And the left value is the square size times the, so it's square size times coordinates dot columns minus 1, because we don't move over. What? Oh, column. We don't move over at all for the first one. Oh, but that is actually 0, not minus 1. So that's the square size times the column, and then I need to take account for this 0.1 buffer that I want to have on each side. So this is going to be plus square size times 0.1. I think that's right. And I'll guess how important those parentheses ended up being. And then for the top, it'll be square size row. Okay, that seems good. So now back in here, I can yield widget.builder.get chords contents. Oh, position. I was naming all of these methods. Putting a position at the end. Get chords contents position. And this is the coordinates. I'll still call them plural because English is a silly language, to widget. And for now, it's just going to be a text widget with the letter M and the color red. What do we think, folks? Is it going to work? Will I have caught up to Randall? Nice. Engine not initialized. I'm going to hot restart. There we go. Oh, they're not exactly centered very well, which we can do by adding a center. Center child. Dude. Are we making Minesweeper or what? Nice. Why didn't we assign it directly? Why do we declare it as late and then because I don't know if is widget.builder going to be available at this level? I don't think so. So like, can we do, if I could type, is widget builder rows, is that available yet? Yeah, I don't think so, sadly. Oops. I didn't want to delete all of that. Yeah. So the info that we need is not available until in its state. I always try my best to mute the microphone before I clear my throat. All right, now when I click a square, let's print how many mines are adjacent. How about that? So that'll be an engine function. And we will say get, let's see, so this is int get adjacent mines. And this takes chords. It has to have a variable name. All right, so we have an X and a Y, and I want to check basically all 8 permutations of like increasing and decreasing the row and column values. And then I want to check for mines that exist in those spots. Now, this is where we're going to be doing kind of lots and lots of scans of this list. So if these went in a hash map, that would lead to faster lookups. So, but again, there's like 10 to 30 of these, so it's not terrible. Oh, no, that would be crazy to do that on every frame. The board doesn't change, so we can cache this entirely. Yeah. No, yeah, that'll be way better. So final, these are going to be mine, like adjacent mine counts, tallies. I don't know. So this will be a map. And the first thing it's going to have is coordinates as its key. And then it's going to have the number of adjacent mines as its value. So let's do this. And now we can use our all chords things again. So for final chords in all chords. Now we'll still call this get adjacent mines thingy thing. And I'll just seed this chords equals get adjacent mines thingy thing. That's the technical term. Chords go in here. Love it. All right. So I want all permutations here. There's 8 permutations. Every square has 8 neighboring squares because corners always also count, which I think was true in Minesweeper. Pretty sure it's true. Randall's onto a settings page. Oh boy. To a radio button instead of separate button. He's just rubbing it in at this point. You're on the long tail of features. You're deep into the backlog. We get it. All right. So we need the amount of. Oh, you know what we could do? This is going to be a little silly. So this will be like the adjacency iterator. Iterable int adjacent I can't English. Adjacency. That's probably not how that's spelled. Looks really weird. Iterator. Okay, so this will just yield -1, yield 0, and yield 1. And so now I can say for int row delta in an adjacency iterator. And then again for a column delta in a separate adjacency iterator, we say if mine locations. So if mine locations contains a coordinate value which has the row of chords plus row delta and a columns value of chords plus column delta. I didn't want that. I'm doing something extremely wrong here. What is the problem? Oh, chords.row. Chords.column. And this is singular, of course. So if that's the case, then adjacent mines, int adjacent mines equals 0. So the adjacent mines goes up. And then we return. Where do I return? After the blue? Okay. Now when I click on something, which I still have going on here, we can print engine dot adjacent mine counts for the coordinates. Apparently I can't do that. Expression doesn't evaluate to a function. Oh, it's literally a map. Here we go. All right, so I expect to print 1 here. Null. Awesome. Is there like a 0 index problem? Also prints null, 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 null. Oh, I have to hot restart. Okay, let's print 1 here. Printed 2. Oh, right, of course. The corner. So this one also print. Why did you print 1? Uh-oh. We've got problems. Okay, do I have like a 0 index error problem somewhere? Okay, what did I do wrong? Oh, first I have to look at the correct class, don't I? Yes, we start 0, 0. That seems right. So I think the chords iterator is correct. Do I have any border? error things. Yeah, that seems right. Get adjacent mines. Does this iterator like two of these can exist at once? I hope. I wonder if they can't. I wonder, this will be interesting. So this could be like the row adjacency iterator. And this could be the column adjacency iterator. I don't know if this is what's going to fix it or not. Oh, errors. Not related to me. Okay, bye. More errors, good. Okay, so that was 1. This should also be, oh no, it's 0. It's wrong. All right, I guess I'm just going to start printing these things. Return adjacent mines. Print chords. And then let's make this difficulty be easy, so there's fewer mines and it'll be maybe easier to think about. All right, so I'm going to go to the top. Okay, bring up the UI. So in the 0, 0 position, oh yeah, it's counting itself. Oh, is that the problem? I don't think so. And then in 0, 1, that's 0 row column 1, so that's here. That's a 1. And then we get all the way. Okay, what about row 3, column 1? Row 3, column 1. Row 3, column 0 has 1 adjacent. Row 3, column 1 has 1 adjacent. Row 3, column 2 has 2 adjacent. This might have fixed it. But I do want to stop counting itself because you just lose the game at that point. I guess this actually doesn't matter because you just lose when you click on a mine. But it's still not adjacent. It feels wrong. So we'll say if. So these are our new chords. We'll call these like adjacent chords. If chords equals adjacent chords, continue. All right. 1, 0. Why are you calling it 0? All right, so I'm going to go back and look at square 1. Yeah, that's 1, 1. So 1, 1 for this one. Said 1. Why is it printing 0 now? That map is actually correct. Ooh, what happened? Oh boy, those dev tools are having a rough go. Okay. Oh, it is an off by 1 error. I clicked the 0, 0 index and it, for the coordinate calculation thing, calls that 1, 1. That's the problem. This needs a -1, -1. And would that be the same as changing seal to floor? I don't know. It might be, but also if you click right on a boundary, then something funny might happen. I guess I'll just call this floor. All right. Now I think we're going to be in better luck. So this should be 2. Please clear. All right, so this should be 2, 2. Oh, no, 3, right? Yeah, 3, 2. This one should be 3. Okay, there we go. And this should be 0. Nice. Oh, right. That's what we just debugged. Good thinking, though. You figured it out. Almost never figure out anything before someone in chat does. Okay. Well, why don't you just deploy it to the web too, and we'll play your game. You can DM me a link because you're not going to be able to paste it into your chat because YouTube no likey, and we'll play the game. How about that? So the next thing, we're going to hide some mine. No, I don't want to hide mines. What data structure do we want for... I don't want to hide mines because I don't want to have to play the game for real. I want to continue to cheat and know where to click to get interesting results. So the next thing that we need is a data structure to show information that has been revealed. Yes. That's actually just another set of squares, and then those squares show their information. I believe that is a reasonable way to store this. So mine locations, we're now going to have revealed locations. And we can add a new method. Revealed squares. I keep calling these. I have different things. This one said draw mines. These ones don't say draw. This one just says revealed squares, so it's kind of more like these. I have no consistency. None. Okay, so this is revealed squares, and we are looping over revealed locations. And we're getting the position, and the widget here is the engine dot mine locations. No, it's adjacent mine counts. So actually here we have like engine dot adjacent mine counts of the chords. So if I'm gonna have to save this in a variable. Oops. And we can count on this being a hit, so it's not going to be a nullable integer here. So if mine count equals 0, then we have an empty string. Otherwise, we show mine count dot to string, which actually I hear it's better to do this, which kind of blows my mind. Like it's more performant. And then the style will be gray either way. But now let's also add... We need to change the color of the hex if it's 0. That's a little awkward. So, we can just say, so if mine count, it's starting to sound real close to a bad book. If count of mines equals 0, then we'll put a green, we'll put a colored square in there. If the mine count is a number, then we can just do this text widget thing. So now I don't have to do this. This is just mine. Oh boy. Count of mines. Oh, you still need the thingies. Okay, that's good. And now if it's 0, we want to add a square. So this will be widget.builder.fill, like get fill square position for the chords, and that'll be to widget, and it'll take a colored box. All those other ones, yeah, just with a color of colors dot gray. I don't know, we'll do yellow with like a really light yellow. It's just something we can see here. Okay, that's good. So we need this get fill square position method. And then we actually have to listen to changes on clicks. Final. Oh, this adjacency iterator thing. I don't think I had to change that. That's going to return a position, chords. What's the problem? I'm in the engine, not the builder. Position. All right. So that we know the width is square size. We know the height is square size. We know that the left is the rows times square size. Chords.row times square size. And top is chords.column. Wait, is that right? Left rows. No, this one needs to be columns. I love getting that bug wrong because then it's like you click somewhere and something happens over there. And it's just like, I've lost my mind. Okay, that should work for get square position. That's good. So now basically we just on click. So in our engine, we're going to merely add. So like void clicked coordinates. And this is going to be a coordinates. And all I think we have to do is add those coordinates to revealed locations. And then we have to call notify listeners. And then we actually have to listen to the engine. So we'll use a listenable builder. Whoops. I'll wrap you in a builder, and then I'll change it to become a listenable builder. And the listenable will be the engine. What's the problem here? Do you get the engine? Is that the thing? Aha. Well, it's the same engine, so I'm shadowing the living bejesus out of this variable, and it's literally the same thing. So, okay. Oh, no, it's not. What is this builder? What do you take? Builder? Transition builder? Child. Oh, it's the optimizing thingy thing. Yeah, we don't care about that. All right, there's a chance I'm going to be able to click some stuff and see some stuff. Didn't work. Nice. Oh, did I call the method? No, it didn't. Engine dot clicked coordinates. Oh, yeah. Oh. Feels good. Feels. Oh, no, right. I had to switch focus back to the window. Okay, you should be drawing a yellow square. Feels bad. Why are the let's review. Revealed squares. If count of mines equals 0, maybe the colored box doesn't fill its parent. I thought it did though. I really thought it did. Containers definitely do. Huh. Oh, I'm not yielding it. Oh my frickin'. Ooh, that is ugly. And also not a good size. It's kind of covering the lines a little bit. So the width, let's say this is like -2, -2, +1, +1. Okay, that's better. How are we doing? This project needs some Win32 GUI package to give it that retro vibe. Yeah, true. Realize I'm covering the bottom corner here. So because this is so wow, this is funny. These numbers aren't big enough, I don't think. It's like you click anywhere there and you just get basically the whole board revealed. So I think we need more mines, right? Also, these gray numbers are maybe a little light. So let's go back to the main gray. Let's just go black. Make this readable. Yeah, it's better. Yeah, so I feel like we're going to need more mines. Oh man, it's 11. This is quitting time for the stream. What a bummer. I don't really want to stop. We're about to have a game, then I'll be ahead of Randall. Also, Randall has not. Wait a minute. Randall maybe did send me a thing. I don't. Let me switch windows so I can look at chat apps and see if Randall sent me a deployed URL. It's like use Firebase hosting and deployed already, so we can play your game. Where would he maybe do that? Oh, Randall, did you Slack it to me? I don't have Slack on my work computer anymore. Oh, I got a really heartwarming piece of spam on Telegram. May peace follow all you do today from an unknown person. Well, thanks, bot. At least you're not trying to sell me something. All right, no, I have no messages on Slack. I'm starting to think Randall knows that we're going to pass him up. And he... Whoops, that's not the button I meant to press. Randall knows that... Oh, well, Randall, you got to deploy it so we can play it. Otherwise, mine's a lot more real, as far as I can tell. Well, it's going to take a little bit of time to do the explore, reveal all the adjacent empty squares feature, which is definitely a big part of Minesweeper. It's very clear to me that we need a lot more mines in all of the settings. So that much we just know. Where did I even do that? In the engine? There it is. There it is. So for easy, maybe it's 30%, 40%, 50%. I don't know what they did. So would this game look easy? No, that looks really hard. So maybe it's, actually, this would be hilarious. I'll just put this to 0.5 so we can see what I had set up for hard. Where you aren't, you just, will you freaking get I don't know. Was that hard? Like, how was it? I don't know. I don't remember how many mines there were. Maybe this isn't crazy. I mean, it seems crazy. You're going to click on a mine in your first click. All right, let's do 25. This is the biggest waste of time of my entire life. 32, 40. Oh, I didn't use Gemini for anything. I wonder if it can do the thing. Let's try it. CD, Minesweeper, Gemini. Oh, job with the self-update. Okay, analyze this code base. Ensuring the magic smoke stays on. I didn't read it fast enough. It's definitely going to flame us about a lack of tests. That we know. Allow execution of Flutter? Bruv. No. What do you... Oh, Flutter pub get to install dependencies? Yeah, they're already installed. Analyze files? It's never had to do this before. Sure. Sure. Here's what I found. A print statement is used for debugging, which is not recommended. Okay, this is not exactly the most exhaustive code review I've ever gotten. It concluded that I shouldn't have used a print statement for debugging. And I have an unused import. Thanks. Whoops. Can you come back? Oh, shit. I command K'd and it went away. And now it doesn't seem to want to return. Hello? Okay, there we go. So I need to add the feature. Oh, also, I'm going to commit all this pre-Gemini. Plus, close this repository. Oh, whatever. This is implemented most of game pre-Gemini. Okay, now we'll be able to see what it changes. I need to add the feature to Minesweeper, to my Minesweeper game where, how do I want to phrase this sentence? I need to add the feature to my Minesweeper game where the user clicks on a square that touches no adjacent mines, and the game reveals all adjacent squares that also touch no adjacent mines. I think that's how Minesweeper worked. I don't actually remember. I guess I'll ask it. First of all, am I even remembering that feature correctly? Secondly, if I am, please implement it so I can get Randall off. How many L's do we have, Randall? Yeah, just the one. I can get Randall off my back. I typed 2 and it looked weird. I wonder if it's going to be like, I'm so sorry about your Randall problem. All right. It's modifying click coordinates method. The flood fill. Yeah, that's the name of the algorithm we need. Now we're cooking with gas. Yeah, I'll read it afterwards. So this will be an allow always. The game is now, wow. Okay, I mean that. A fly just flew, which is what they do. That's their thing, into my office, and I now hate my life. Get out of I don't think this has ever happened in Observable Flutter before. We're probably gonna have a fly noise literally on the stream. This is crazy. Can you hear the fly? All right, let's look at this flood fill. Seed mines. Oh no, that was our old stuff here. Click coordinates. Here we go. Revealed coordinates. Reveal adjacent. So this is flood fill. Q. Yep. Visited. Yeah. See, this is just like pathfinding, but without a goal. And then, sure. Okay, I guess that's flood fill. Refresh. Oh, and is it adding them to revealed locations? Good. And then they have to revealed locations contain visited contains, but okay, cool. That seems good. So where's the app? Here we are. 1. So this one should. Awesome. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness gracious. Now we're going to hide the mines and we're going to play Minesweeper. Where do I draw the mines? Draw mines. Commenting you out, buddy boy. Refresh. Let's get rid of this print. That was its one bit of feedback that I shouldn't be printing. Yeah, thanks, Gemini. Okay, got the game here. Oh, man, I'm right in the thick of it. Oh, it's getting scarier. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh. What are the odds of this? Okay, this is crazy. I haven't gotten any mines or flood fill yet at all. Oh yeah, and you could like put a flag on them, right? Okay, so this mine is like gotta be here. So that means this has to be clean. What? Where are these mines? So this one is a mine. So this one has to be clean. Oh, right, it is clean. It's just touching a different mine. That's right. I keep waiting for flood fill to hit. I basically don't remember how Minesweeper works. It's very clear. All right, so we know that this one, and that was like a double click, like a right click is when you made it a mine. I actually don't even know how to right click in oh, flood fill, let's go. I don't even know how to right click. All right, now I just want to click on a mine. Like one of you has, this one has to be a mine, right? No. Then what mine do you touch? Oh, I think I just have a bug. I think when I click a mine, its adjacency is 0. And that's the problem. That's the problem. Yeah. So when I'm revealing squares, I need to say if engine.mine locations contains the coordinates. Yeah, I was never going to draw mine. That was starting to seem like I was way too lucky. So I'll take out of the draw mines code. This will draw the mine. We will now continue. Okay, that should be better. Hot reload. How many mines? Yeah, I had already clicked on 5, 6 mines. All right. Another mine. All right, so I've lost this game. I have errors? I do have errors. Play. I was going to say play till I lose, and I lost really fast. All right. Yeah, that was some mega cheating to, instead of rendering the mines, just keep going. That was the ultimate way to cheat, is code the game with a bug such that you don't lose. Oh, good stuff. All right, I am overtime here, folks. That was fun. I really had a great time making what did we make? Minesweeper. Yeah, very mind-blowing. And Randall's is up there, mine's up there. It sounds like Randall's a lot more feature complete. Mine is super feature incomplete. Neither of us deployed though, so really neither of them are real as far as I can tell. First person to deploy one of these wins. That'll do it for today. Thanks everyone for tuning in. What is next week? I think I'm going to be here next week. So yeah, once again, don't currently have anything scheduled. Maybe you'll think around again like today, or maybe I'll find a guest. But until then, everybody, happy fluttering.